Good morning, everyone. This is Quentin Lee. I just want to come to you today just for a few minutes about a particular subject that I think um, we need to look at and we need to open up more about. And that's simply uh, being a father. Um, and we're going to talk about today being the indispensable father. You're irreplaceable. um, Men, you are the leaders of your families. Uh, you might be reluctant to assume that role. You might even deny that it falls to you. But nonetheless, you are your family's leader, whether you choose to believe it or not. Uh, Leaders are always the highest priority targets in any war. If you can take out the head, the body will follow. And it has been the enemy's job to try to attack the head of the families, which is the father, and try to destroy his character, try to destroy his faith in God, try to destroy his confidence and faith in himself. Um, we have a lot of men today walking around confused or hurt or angry, and dealing with all kind of emotional problems, dealing with all kind of mental issues, and they don't share it because men, we don't talk. We don't open up like we should. We don't express our feelings properly. And when you don't express or vent your emotions properly, that can cause all kind of problems. It can cause problems in your relationships. It can cause problems in your marriages, certainly. It will cause problems with your children. It will cause problems at your job, just by not expressing yourselves properly. And a lot of our miscommunication when it comes to men is that we don't communicate properly. And when we do communicate, rarely do we really open up to how we feel and what we want and what's on our minds and what's in our hearts. Um, you may not think of yourself as being particularly successful or influential in your family's life. Maybe you don't make a lot of money, or maybe you don't lead a large group of people. You may not save lives, or you may not be some great inventor or anything like that. But you are indispensable in your family's life. It doesn't matter what type of job you have. If you have a job, it doesn't matter what type of home you have. As long as you are blessed with a roof over your head and you're taking care of your family, that's commendable. But the enemy is very strategic, and we have to learn that we're fighting a smart enemy, and he's been on this game a long time, and he's attacking our men silently. And we have a growing problem with the mental health of our men, because we don't express, because we don't open up. We develop all kind of mental issues, relationship issues. We develop character issues. We are depressed. We are angry, and most men are hurt, but they express it through anger. But I just wanted to encourage the fathers today that we need you. And being a father myself, I know my children need me. It is important to understand that you are indispensable. society has tried to diminish our roles in the home. And now you hear uh, a lot of negativity about how fathers are not stepping up to the plate, and the mothers who are doing a great job are taking on all of the load. Uh, but that's strategic. The enemy wants people to think that uh, most fathers will not step up to the plate. And by and large, for the most part, we haven't. But I think it's time that we take back our place. I think it's time that we take back our authority. And I think it's time we take back who God called us to be. It doesn't matter what type of job you have. Doesn't matter what you drive. If you have a family to take care of, you need to step up to the plate and provide and take care of your family. Don't let your neighbor discourage you. Don't let your family discourage you. It is your job to be the head of the household, and we need you. You're indispensable. You may not see yourself as a big deal, but I can bet you your child does. I can bet you your son does. I can bet you your daughter does. They look at you in a very different light than you look at yourself. Trust me. And when it comes down to being a father, one of our greatest strengths is that we can be strong and fierce, but at the same time, be gentle. And I think that if we start to get back some of the true characteristics of a godly man, we will start to see our homes change. We will start to see our marriages change. We will start to see our relationships change. It is important that you understand that in your children's life, you're about the biggest, wisest, strongest person that your children see. Doesn't matter how you look at yourself, but you got to understand that they look at you as a very big deal. So you should start looking at yourself as a very big deal. My children are growing up fast, and they think that even still that I can carry both of them on my back. And I can tell you, the older they get, the harder it gets to carry both of them on my back. But to ask them, they think that I can do it. And they just know that their dad can physically carry both of them on his back. And like I said, the older they get, the harder that gets. But me carrying them on my back physically, it's just a symbolism or metaphor of me having to carry them spiritually, emotionally. Men, we're good at physical stuff. We'll break our back over something physical. But when it comes to emotions, when it comes to relationship issues, when it comes to relationship issues with your children, we don't share and open up like we should. We're not as strong as we need to be. So I just wanted to encourage the fathers, the stepfathers, the husbands, the boyfriends, the significant others. I just wanted to encourage all men. Doesn't matter what race you are, what color you are, doesn't matter. I wanted to encourage you today that we need you. Our children need us. Our women need us. And they need more than our bank account. They need more than just your presence in the home, because a lot of times you can be physically there, but not mentally or emotionally there. So they need us to open up. You are more important than you think. And we have to start opening up. We have to start talking. We have to start practicing better habits and being better men. Look, we don't have to be perfect. Our children don't expect us to be perfect. They just expect us to be there. And we don't even have to worry about being perfect, because as Christians, we are living examples of what it is to be an imperfect people living for a perfect God. So as long as God is perfect and he sent his son to die for our sins, Jesus, to die for our sins, we don't have to worry about being perfect because he died for that. All we need to do is show up and get to work. You have to use your gifts. You have to use your talents. You have to be there for your children. You have to be there for your spouse. You have to be there for your family. And when things get tough, when times get hard, you have to vent properly. You have to express properly. Don't hold anything in, because if you hold it in, that's going to become a negative thing in your life. You're going to express it wrong. You're going to not address it properly. And then when you finally do express it, it's going to be expressed the wrong way, in anger or fear. And what we tend to do when met with opposition is we shut down. And when we shut down, we don't open up to anybody. We don't open up to our spouse. We don't open up to our kids. We don't open up to our families. And we just shut down. That's the wrong thing to do. And that's what the enemy wants us to do as men, is to shut our mouth. He doesn't want us to be vocal. He doesn't want us to be kings. He wants us to shut our mouth and hide back in the cave. That's what he wants. He wants us to destroy our character. He wants us to not be in the light. He wants to defame your name. He wants to defame your character. But I'm telling you, it is time to step up, be men of God, take your place back, and understand that you're indispensable. We need you. Our children need you. Our families need us. You may not look at yourself as a big deal, but somebody in your life, to them, you are Superman. To them, you are everything, and you may not even realize it. But it's the enemy's job to use life to destroy us, to use our mental issues to destroy us, to use our lack of being able to express our feelings to destroy us. So I hope this word has been a blessing to somebody. I pray for everyone today, and be checking out on a daily basis. I'm going to fight to be able to post content every day. One day it might be relationships. One day it might be music. One day we're going to be talking about men more as well. One day it might be talking about changing fish tanks, and we're going to learn some life lessons in changing some fish tanks around. One day we may be doing some dog work outside and fooling with some puppies and learning about life that way. One day you may meet uh, my children and see how we interact as a family to be able to help somebody else who's struggling out there. So this is Quentin Lee. I love you all. Be blessed. If you have any comments, any questions, anything that you would like to discuss on the next video, hit me up, and I'm going to do my best to implement it into the program, and we're just going to get better as people and as men. So I hope this has been a blessing to you. I love you. God bless, and I will see you soon.